Welcome, you guys. I wish Mary Beth was here. She was in the last class and she was wearing a shirt that had a design on it that was actually a sacred symbol with the same name as something that I'm going to be speaking about today. I'm going to try to describe it as best I can because I didn't bring a depiction of it, but it's the Hamsa. And the Hamsa is like the hand. And it almost looks a little bit like a lotus flower, the way it's designed, because sometimes there actually is like Mindi. Do you know what Mindi is? That beautiful like temporary tattoo. It's made from henna in India. Oftentimes the Hamsa has that beautiful like Mindi design all through it. And sometimes it has the all-seeing eye in the middle of it. And that all-seeing eye is a symbol of protection. The Hamsa hand is actually a symbol of good luck, prosperity, protection. And that eye represents a protection from evil or negative energy. Okay, so that's called a Hamsa. That is an old, ancient symbol that they used in Egypt, that they've used in India, that really kind of spread throughout the world because even Judaism uses it as part of their spiritual symbolism. With the fingers, the 5, it represents the books of Torah for them. It also, for other lineages, represents the 5 senses, or the fact that we use our hands. And in India, like with yoga, they use a lot of mudras with the hands. So there's all these different like depictions and variations of it from culture to culture. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today, considered Hamsa, is actually a swan. And we're going to be doing some swan poses today for this reason. So the swan actually is the vehicle for Brahma or for Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of wisdom and literature and the arts and wisdom and knowledge. And she's often depicted wearing a white sari. And she's not very embellished as far as jewelry or any other type of colors. She's very simple because the idea of Saraswati is to go inside, to pay attention to your innate or inner wisdom, to recognize your inner beauty, your inner essence. It's not really about being showy or the appearance of things. Very different than Lakshmi, because Lakshmi is very ornamented and all kinds of jewelry and jewels and depicted very beautiful because she's the goddess of beauty. So it's Saraswati showing up in her white sari and her musical instrument. She's often depicted on a white lotus. White represents purity. The lotus represents transformation. Her swan that is often depicted next to her is a symbol of light, love, grace, and beauty. Romance too, because think about when the swans intertwine their neck and what that represents. It represents 2 lovers. So swans have the ability to be connected to the earth. They have the ability to swim in the water, and they also have the ability to fly. The flight of the swan, and her swan specifically is called Hamsa. The flight of the swan represents moksha, the goal of yoga. What is ultimate freedom? So every time we hit the mat, every time we do any of these practices, whether it's mindfulness, meditation, breath work, the physical poses, all of it is to assist us in freeing ourselves up, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So we're going to look at the swan, the Hamsa, as being our inspiration for today. Okay, we're going to start sitting up. And you can sit on a bolster. Allow yourself to come to the tip of the bolster so you get that little pelvic tilt forward, which neutralizes the low back, gives us that natural curve. The knees can angle down regardless if they touch the floor. Your palms residing on your lap. Prop your heart up Lift your head up and close your eyes. With your eyes closed, turn your drishti, your inner gaze, towards the mind's eye, the center of your forehead. This inner gaze is said to stimulate the third eye, pineal gland, which can help us to break through this veil, to connect to the other realm. It can spark our intuition, which is our inner knowing. Take a moment to set the gaze here and maybe even picture one of those symbols of the lotus, the swan, or the hand called Hamsa. Then start to direct your breath. Improving the quality of the breath. And even directing the rising energy up towards the third eye. Notice as you improve your breath, how you may get more connected to your body, more tuned into yourself, more tapped into your heart. In the Sri Vidya tradition, they say, when you meditate on the mind's eye, you enter into the lotus of the heart. Gently begin to open up your eyes. Send your left arm out and turn your fingers down. Take your right hand and just pull back on the four fingers. Just stretching the hand, the wrist, and that carpal tunnel area, moving up the forearm. And then we'll swap sides. Extend your right arm. Allow your left hand to pull the fingers back. Keep your thumb free. Again, maybe noticing a little variance in the sensitivity from one side to the other. Good, and release. Take the arms and stretch them up alongside your face. With your arms reaching up, lace your hands at the top, create this little umbrella and reach your outer wrist up towards the sky. And then swap it, roll the palms up towards the sky. Notice the difference again in the effect that you're having through the shoulders, arms, and hands. And then exhale, let the arms fan off to the sides. All right, we're gonna move away from our seat and we're gonna come up to stand. All right. My phone is freezing up. I wanted to change the music, but it's not letting me, and I don't want to force it. So we're just gonna ohm it out today. Stand at the top of your mat. Root and ground your feet, maybe even rocking and rolling from the back side to the front side. And then once you glue the feet down, maybe even shifting your hips forward and back and finding that perfect place of stacking and balancing. And then zip up through your midriff. Let your arms release down away from your ears and let your neck extend. Swan, its long, graceful neck. And then inhale, let your arms fly up. And on the exhale, turn your right hand out, lower the arm down and curve to that side of the room. Create Chandrasana. Another ancient symbol. Flip your right hand open and drive it back up, palms face each other. Rotate your left hand out, lower that arm, and then curve to that side. Flip your left palm open, drive it back up alongside the face. And as you exhale, bring your hands together and lower them down to heart center. Drive the thumbs to the top of the sternum. Close your eyes. Remember your personal intention for being here today and the collective intention we've created. And then open the eyes and sweep the arms in a wide circle and up. And as you exhale, spread your wings and swan dive forward and down to your Uttanasana. So there's an interesting thing about swans. They don't like to go all the way under the water. So inhale, lift up, lift your gaze out into the room, and then exhale, pour back down. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top. Exhale, bring hands back home to the heart. We're going to do that twice more just to warm up the lower body. Inhale, arms circle wide and overhead. Exhale, spread your wings, swan dive down. And then inhale, lift up as though you're not going to submerge. Exhale, pour down. Uttanasana. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, hands to hearts. All right, we're going to do one more half suns out. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Affirming here as you linger. Nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, release. All right, take a hold of your blocks. Set them aside at your feet and step your left foot back. When you step your left foot back into this lunge, make sure that knee doesn't crank way past the ankle towards the toes. You want it to be perpendicular to the floor. Good, rotate your back foot down. Keep your right hand on the block and slowly carry the left arm up towards the sky. Now when you roll open, try to send your right knee towards your right arm. Glue down your back foot. And now bring the left hand down, spin off of the back heel, and sink your knee to the floor. All right, your hands can stay here on your blocks, but press your left foot into the sticky mat. Holding here. Sinking the hips. And on your next in-breath, pluck up that back knee off the floor. Stabilize through the foundation. And then launch your arms back up towards the sky. Try to erect the spine over your pelvis. Holding your crescent lunge. Find your stability and find a steady gaze. Something to look at that's unmoving. Take one more deep breath. Exhale, bring the hands down as well as your back knee. And then you're going to try to lift the foot and point the back toes. Don't feel like you have to lift it very high. It'll be like our tail feathers. Shoulders back, elongate your neck. Like the swan here. And then curl the toes under, lift the back knee, plant the back foot, and rise to warrior one. With warrior one, crank that back hip or left thigh towards the front of your mat. Circle the arms behind you, left arm first, right arm beneath that. Hold here. And then exhale, stay heavy in your feet and humble the warrior as you bow down. Inhale slowly, rise back up. Free up your arms and fly them over your head. Good, exhale, bring the hands down, spin away from the back heel, wiggle the left toes back, and pause here in that runner's lunge. Good, springboard the back foot forward, and step your right foot back. Once you're established here, again, checking in with that front shin, checking in with the alignment of the knee. Turn down your back foot, keep your left hand to your block, and send your right arm back. Send your left knee towards your left arm. Holding and breathing and affirming, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. Exhale, lower the right hand, spin off the back heel, sink down to your back knee. Push into your right foot. My shoulders are hunching up towards my ears. I can feel it, so yours is doing the same. Your arms can be more relaxed. Think about the swan neck today. All right, when you're ready, pick up that back knee. Stabilize the feet. When you're ready, crescent lunge. It does require some balance. It does require some focus. And exhale, bring the hands down as well as your back knee. This time, maybe lifting the foot and pointing the toes. All right, curl the toes under, lift the knee, plant the back foot. Virabhadrasana 1. We're going to do our standing poses first. And then we'll move into a little bit of a flow before we get down to the floor. Let's bring the right arm around behind the back. The left arm crosses underneath. Pausing here. Shoulders slip down the back. And then exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, slowly re-erect the spine, free up the arms. All right, exhale, bring the hands down, come to that runner's lunge here. We're gonna lose the blocks to step into plank. And from plank, we set the knees down, flip the feet in, and come to this variation of swan. As we exhale, we're taking it back to extended child's pose. As we inhale, we're coming back to this variation of swan. Exhaling back to child. And one more. This time when you land in child, find your expression. Do you enjoy the thighs together or apart? Do you prefer the arms wrapping the body and the spine rounding, or the arms and the spine extending? Choose your favorites. Drop within. Picture the same symbol, whether it was the swan, the lotus, or the hand, and place it in your mind's eye. This can be your meditational technique anytime you're in stillness, anytime you need to return to a technique to gain focus, or even in the end of Shavasana. On your next in-breath, rock up to hands and knees. Exhale, curl the toes and take downward facing dog. Walk the feet maybe just slightly closer together. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Land the heels. Close in. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, swan dive back in. Inhale, walk the hands to plank. Exhale, down to the knees. Inhale, flip the feet and come to swan. Exhale to downward facing dog. If the feet are wide apart, walk them a little closer together. Track the hands back towards the feet. Lower the heels. Hold into sound. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, swan dive in. Inhale, walk the hands out to plank. Exhale, land your knees. Inhale to swan. Exhale to downward facing dog. We're just gonna do that one more round, power of 3. Hands travel back towards the toes. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, swan dive back in. Inhale to plank. Exhale down to the knees. Inhale to swan. Exhale to child's. All right, this is where we're going to start to change things up. Let's rock forward to hands and knees. Let's exhale to downward facing dog. Now we're going to move into deer pose first. So deer pose, you're bringing your left shin close to your hands and immediately drop your right knee to the floor. We're going to push away from the right hand to sink down on the left thigh and hip, and we come to the inside of the right foot. All right, we're going to fold out over the left side. And this is deer pose. Deer is different than pigeon. Pigeon is the same or similar to swan and yen. We'll get there, but I want us to start here. We had a full moon in Pisces over the weekend. May have had a disruption of sleep. Might have received an emotional charge. May have felt like being in crowds or withdrawing away from the crowds, right? Dependent upon how it affected you personally. Now let's slowly walk in. Okay, so this is in pigeon, right? So to go towards that, which is the yin variation swan pose, we take the hands back to the mat. We need to turn so that we're lifting the left hip off the floor and we're sliding the right shin back and we're squaring the hips here. Yes, your knee should be slightly angled to the left side. Once you have this, we melt down to sleeping swan. If I directed you into a pose that is not the best for your body, you're going to know it. And if deer works in your favor, you can move back to that position. If you prefer a half pigeon, reclining to your back, left ankle over the right knee, you can move there. So notice, even though we're residing in stillness, and if someone were to walk through the door, they would see us being very quiet, very still. Doesn't mean necessarily anything to the viewer. Because internally, your mind may be spinning out of control. Think about how when ducks and swans glide across water, they look so graceful, moving so smoothly. But yet underneath the water, they're pedaling away. So stop the pedaling in your mind. You can use your breath to calm and slow it down. Inhale slowly coming up. Just stay leaning into your hands. And then we'll roll onto the left hip. to bring the right foot around in front. The right foot is now located in front of the left foot in this hopefully comfortable cross-legged position. If you really need support for the knees, you can add in blocks or stick the ankles up under your calves. Right, from here, we're going to allow our arms to mimic the necks of swans. So we're going to take the right arm and wrap it under the left and maybe intertwine them more. Seeing what's possible. Close your eyes. Affirming here as you hold the center of life's storms, I choose to remain serene. Exhale, release. All right, we're kind of in a position where we could work into gear. So let's just stay here. Lean to your right hip and release your left foot. And then you're just going to bow over the right side. So in these moments where you're able to drop inside, close the eyes and go again, be like Saraswati, remembering all the knowledge that you've gained, the wisdom you hold, the beauty within. Move towards that swan if it's available. Let's walk the hands back in. We'll slide the left foot back, push away from the right hip. Because in this position, the right hip's off the floor or something's tucked to support it. You're on the top of the left knee, shin, and foot. Slide it back before melting down. Your breath, anchor you in the now moment.
And the sensory organs. Interior and exterior. When you lift, you can lean on to the right side, and bring that left foot around with your right, or crisscross more if you need the additional support. Sitting up, the left arm is going to hook onto the right this time. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Because I felt like, this is right. Always call me out if I mix it up. Let's try. And release. We're going to twist to the right. So the right hand's going to stack to the floor behind us. The left hand is going to cross over to the right knee. Now I want you to pull slightly with your left hand and then push into your right hand and see if that can rotate you a little bit more in your upper back. To deepen, but try not to be too forceful. All right, as we let go of the hands, just swing around to the opposite side. Left hand behind you, right hand to the left knee, and you're just pulling ever so slightly with your right hand and pushing slightly with your left hand. Release. We're going to slide the legs out in front. Bring the hands back behind, and you're going to point on the inhale, and you're going to flex on the exhale. Just do that twice. We're pointing on the in breath, flexing on the out breath. So super simple, okay? All right, we're going to slide the feet in, crisscross the most comfortable way, the most habitual way. And you can do this without blocks, but sometimes it's just more accessible and easier with blocks. So since this is gentle, I'm going to say bring the blocks beside your hips. And we're going to use our upper body strength, our core strength, our hip strength to lift. Okay. So when you press down, you're lifting your seats, and then see if you can lift your feet. You might surprise yourself. See? Yes, yes. I forgot what it's called. Is it Tolasana, Lolasana, or something like that? Try it. Yeah, Mary's like, no.
As long as my legs don't have to come.
Okay, but you can get your seat up?
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. Hands down, seat up. Okay, think hips, quads, ankles, and just lift your feet. All right, done with that. We're gonna roll to the back. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes the mind gets in the way, you have to overthink. Hug your knees in. And then let your arms splay open. Let your knees roll left. And let them land, let the feet land. Sprawl out in this twist. The head may want to turn. Your eyes are welcome to close. But picture the symbol you chose earlier, the lotus, the swan, or the Hamsa hand. Roll the knees through the middle and over to the other side. Your head may want to turn another direction. And your head may not want to turn at all. I went through a long, probably 10-year phase of not wanting to turn my head in a twist, and I'm just now starting to bring it back. And now roll to your right side. Push into that hand. We are going to set up a slide. Now, your slide can be 2 blocks, 2 different heights, holding up the bolster. And I'm going to suggest, since we just had that full moon, to elevate the legs. If you prefer Stonehenge, that's another great one because the legs are elevated in that pose too. So pick one or the other. If you maybe want leg with the wall. We did a gentle flow. Starting off with breath work. Moving into standing poses. And eventually down to seated poses. And now you are supine.
Let the elevation of the legs be medicinal for any poor sleep that you might have encountered the last couple days. But try to stay one-pointed in your concentration as you relax your mind and body. Give your mind something to focus on so it doesn't get distracted. Maybe put that stamp or symbol in your mind's eye. Swan, representing light, love, grace, and beauty. Or representing the purity and transformation of a lotus. Or even the Hamsa hand. Be the observer of the symbol, the observer behind your breath, and anything else that surfaces. Detaching away from what surfaces and returning over and over again to your breath and symbol. slowly begin to acknowledge the breath as it enters and exits. Something that tends to happen automatically. Then bring it back under your command. Once you take at least 3 deep breaths, begin to awaken your hands and feet. Maybe wrapping the arms lovingly around your legs as you hug the knees in. Eventually finding your way to a more formal seat. The way we started our practice today. Joining hands together, prayer position at your heart. Hopefully you received what you needed. Remember, you have enough knowledge, enough experience to do it on your own. Remembering when we drop inside, we tap into our higher self, which can be our teacher. So the best teacher actually lies within. May we all benefit from this practice. Until we meet again. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining today.